I am officially anti-hustle. I am officially somebody who has stopped being productive as described by society. And I love it. And I'm sure you're going to love it as well in a second once I share with you my philosophy. And this is probably something that I will take with me as I move towards the 40 because it has changed so much about how I really appreciate my life and how I actually evolve in a way that is so much more peaceful and so much more productive for real, actually. And yeah, I've developed a philosophy around time over the last few years, mostly because I was an entrepreneur. So I had finally full freedom about how to use my time. So I had to really think about it. And what came out was a very different mindset than what I used to have. I used to be somebody who was like, productivity is doing more and you have to work many, many hours. And if you're not working so many hours, you are quite lazy. And that came from the whole culture I was raised into. Looking back when I was studying, I was enrolled in a program that's called a prep school, where you basically have to work almost like 10 hours a day, just learning things. And then you have to spend 4 hours a night just absorbing everything you learn, because the next day you are going to get quizzed on it or you are going to learn more about it. So if you cannot catch up on what you learned on day one, day two, you are already screwed. This was from university, and I brought this mindset of having to work super hard and having to do so many hours and not sleeping very well and stuff like this into my first career experiences. I remember one of my first job, I was living very far away from where I was working. So I was working in the train in the morning, like 1 hour and a half. Then I was doing a 10-hour day, and then I was working again, going back home in the train, an hour and a half extra. So this was very, very long days. And I was really proud of it. And I was even working in the weekends. And I was like, yeah, that's what is going to make me successful. As you can imagine, not exactly. But I was proud of it. Like, I was in this mindset of this is what people who want success do in their life. This is how you show that you're actually serious about your work. And I wasn't really noticing the cost of it. And if I was looking back right now, I'm like, yeah, you were working very long hours on the weekend, but you had no friends. You had very little time for yourself, very little self-care. You were putting on weight all the time because you were not taking care of your nutrition, for instance, or you were just like eating on the go and eating very quickly, or you were forgetting to take lunch break and just working at your desk. And yeah, all these things, obviously, it has a cost when you compound it. So I had to learn to do things a bit differently. And when I started in personal development as a coach, there were still a lot of conversations around productivity that were really kind of still a little bit on a nasty sense, like more like hustle. It's like, oh yeah, they give you all the productivity tools, and these are the best to-do lists and the best software to optimize every single minute of your time. And I think there's still a lot around hustling and doing more. And I think it's very unhelpful. I think it's also idealistic because it's like, you have to, every single bit of your day have to be planned, or everything has to be perfect, and you need to deliver and deliver every single day. And I found that this doesn't really work for me. I'm going to guess that it doesn't work for other human beings. I don't think it does, but tell me if you're a robot, maybe it works for you. But yeah, for me, I really needed a new definition, and really needed to understand better how could I actually be productive, but like a real productivity, like something that makes me feel good about it. And I learned so both through entrepreneurship, where I had more freedom to play with my time and test different things, and also through Brandon Burchard, who is the coach that certified me on his program. And he also has a vision of performance that is more like sustainable and more like enjoyable as well. And part of it is talking about productivity in ways that are a little bit more mindful and more realistic and more human. So yeah, so this is where I started developing a new definition of productivity in general for myself. And one of the things that I was really looking at is that productivity is a kind of feeling. It's a kind of like, it's the emotion that you attach to the time you spend. So for me, really thinking about what was a productive day, when I look back at all my career, when have I felt really productive in a way that was joyful? And all of these moments were really when I was doing something very meaningful to me, with a clear goal, and I could really see the connection between what I was doing with somebody I was helping, or a project I was moving forward that really meant something to me. It was also productivity. They were also days where I felt free. Like there was a big sense of freedom, that I was doing the things that I enjoyed. Different things maybe, but there was a sense of, just enthusiasm, excitement, freedom in general. And it was very different than the days where I was just doing. So maybe I was not delivering as much, but I was delivering things that were actually making me feel that I was productive. So this was already a first thing around that, like finding, what emotions do I want to create? Because if I can create this in my day, then I will feel that I've been productive. And also that also meant doing less than what I thought I should be doing, which is another big piece. Is productivity is not doing more, it's not doing more, giving more out there, it's just doing the right thing at your best level. And to do that, you need usually to do less and be really focused and really not distracted, and really choose the things that where you want to give everything towards. And that also shifted a little bit my mindset around it. Another thing that shifted in my philosophy around time is I used to think productivity was only for work, and now I see productivity for everything. So if I'm spending time doing some painting or doing some self-care, this is productive because it helps me feel good, it helps my health, it helps my mindfulness as well, so it puts me in a better shape to do anything else. So this is an important thing. If I'm spending time learning about my finances, that's also helping me create some future freedom. That's also it's one of my goals, so if I'm working towards that, then I know I've been productive. Relationships, if I make time for friendships or doing social things, then I'm also compounding efforts in a specific area that is important to me. So that I kind of starting looking at productivity in all different areas, and not keeping it to just professional. So these are the things in general that help me think differently about my time. So having a mindset that productivity is when I'm doing meaningful things only, usually doing less, creating the right emotions, so like the joy, the freedom, the excitement around it, and also thinking about it, not just overdoing in one area of my life only, but really trying to balance everything by having ideas about what makes me feel productive in different directions. So that changed, and it's very different than just do more and push through and grind every single day 24/7. So that's now what's driving my decisions when I'm looking at my calendar. When I'm looking at the things I'm working towards, I really keep that in mind, that this is my new definition, and not the whole stuff that were really unhealthy. And more in practice, so things I do that's more tangible for you to get some examples and maybe ideas of things that you can also implement in your own life. So I was talking about this idea of productivity being holistic, and one thing I did a few years back now, and I keep updating it every 90 days, is having clear vision for everything I want in my life for all the different areas. So I have a vision for my health, I have a vision for my mental health as well, I have a vision for my finances, for my friendships, for my hobbies, for the work, obviously, but for creative activities as well. So every different area that is important to me has a big vision, and really what would be the ideal case scenario for me, and how I would enjoy myself the most. And with that is also attached 90 days goals. And what that gives me is that every 90 days I review that. So I get excited about the vision again, but also I think about what do I want to do in the next 90 days. And because I have all these areas mapped, I can already say, okay, this one deserves more focus and this one deserves a little bit less focus. So for instance, my finances right now, it's very simple. I just need to invest a little bit more. That's my only goal there. And that's it. At some point in the past, it was more about I need to spend more time learning about how to be financially savvy. So there were more hours put towards that. And I knew it was more important to focus on that and prioritize. But for now, it's at a different level. Same thing, with this creative YouTube challenge. This is a dream project running in the background. So I know it takes me some effort every single day, but it is not like I'm going full time on a full business and like spending my whole days creating a YouTube channel. So it's like also, paced in a way that is satisfying for me, where I can see some progress, but it's not overstretching myself for other things that are more important. For instance, building a new work at the moment. So it's having this kind of like picture about everything going on in my life and reviewing it regularly also helps me balance things, which is also a good thing for feeling productive, is that you don't feel that one area is overtaking everything in your life. And just making sure you get some progress everywhere will also make you feel happy that you're actually progressing in life in a well-balanced way. What I also done is having a clear understanding about what an ideal day look for me if I wanted to be productive and feel productive. And for now, it's very like a very structured day. It's like, okay, I wake up at the same time every day. I do half an hour of morning routine with some mindfulness, some breathings, a bit of movement as well. Then I go shower, have breakfast, and then I start the morning. Usually in the morning I work on execution things, so I really it's like I go for it. Like I create, I create things, or I do, I finalize things, I ship things. Basically, that's what I do. It's really like a very focused time, and I do it at work, at home. But sometimes I also go in coffee shops because I know I'm very focused when I work from a different place. So that's what I use. But basically, the morning is when I do most of my work. Then I take an hour lunch break. This is my ideal thing for somebody who used to eat while working. This is full hour, no computer, no phone, nothing. It's just full hour for me, and just taking time to eat properly, cooking properly, and things like that. And then after that, I have time. Usually, right now is going to record the videos after lunch. And this is more like time where I can do a little bit administrative stuff or just learning and reading things in a very light way. Then I go for a walk outside, half an hour just to clear my brain. And then I have another block where I can do usually brainstorming activities or social activities. And then it's the end of the day. So I go to the gym and I work out, or I do something creative and some painting, things like that. And then I go to bed at the same time every day. So this is my ideal day on a normal day where I can control everything, and I can leverage when my brain is working better for different tasks as well. So that also helps me feel productive. Obviously, it's not always like this. Sometimes, other people need me, or there are like things coming in the way that make that I have to shift some of these ideal patterns. But having an idea about what really works for you, then you can make decisions. And then you can, if somebody requests, for instance, a meeting in the morning, I usually will say no, and I will take it in the afternoon because it works better for me. And this is something that if you don't have an understanding about what would be your ideal day, then it's harder to build it, and then it's easier to say yes to everybody and get everyone to control your agenda. So this is one thing that I found very helpful, is to know what my days look like. And also forgot to mention that I have time in the day where I do literally nothing. So having some buffer days, buffer time where if something is not finished in the morning, then I can do it, so I still feel good for that day. But making sure I plan the right amount of tasks, and I can be a little bit flexible if I need a little bit more during the day because I've planned already some space there. Another thing I do is really working with my brain and really listening to it, which I used not to do. I used to bypass everything and just push through and go way longer hours at all times of the day, which was not very, very helpful. But that means, for instance, obviously good health, good nutrition, good hydration to help the brain function well in general. That's very important. Doing mindfulness so that the brain is in a good place. And that means that if I'm in a good place and I'm not distracted or unfocused because of different thoughts or things happening, so it makes it also easier when I'm in the moment where I want to deliver, to be there and actually give the best work possible. So I feel good about it as well. And I mentioned doing the long lunch hours, taking breaks outside, and in general thinking more about how can I not multitask. Very important, not giving different things to my brain. And also, obviously, like noticing more if I'm feeling that I'm pushing through, because there might be days where I'm a little bit tired and I'm actually forcing my brain to do things. And the more you force your brain, the least good what you are going to do anyway is going to be. But also, it kind of like makes you more tired for the day after as well. So I'm always like really noticing, am I moving past what my brain can currently do, and just trying to respect that as much as possible. Obviously, not always possible, but if I have the flexibility and I can say, now I stop and I'm done for the day, I'm good with it as well. And important will also be to manage other people. That's the last bit, is sticking to that can sometimes be a challenge. I know, for instance, so I was doing that in entrepreneurship. It's quite easy to arrange my time, but then I went back to normal work, and then you are back into like team meetings and things put in your calendar by different people, and it was a little bit of a challenge to push back. But this is it's a good exercise to know that your productivity will also depend sometimes from people. You cannot always control your agenda properly, but you can always set boundaries, or you can protect times in your calendar, or you can put buffer time between things. So just like things like this on productivity, to also make sure that you can, even if the world is trying to distract you, you can still be more or less in control as much as possible. And the last thing I also had to do quite a lot, particularly at the beginning, a little bit less now, but particularly at the beginning, was to notice when my brain was in survival mode or like trying to push through. Because sometimes it's I can get busy. I can get busy because my brain feels that's safer. You know, it's like you are doing things that therefore you're safe, therefore there is progress, therefore something is going to happen positively to you, and that means that sometimes I can overwork naturally because that's what my brain is going to push me to do, and I think this. Yeah, I think this is something that you also need to notice. If you notice that you're rushing yourself or you're numbing yourself, it might be a sign that your brain is not working well, in the sense that it might be trying to avoid something or trying to, it's maybe concerned with something. There is some fear ongoing there. So what I do now, when I realize there's been a few days where my brain has felt like that, a little bit restless and wanting to do more, and trying to push outside of what I know a productive day feels for me, it's also to zoom out. And I do what I call a fear setting exercise, which is basically trying to listen to my brain and write on paper, okay, what could my brain be worried about at the moment? And I just list down everything, even the things that I think I'm probably not worried about, but just, okay, this thing happened, let me write it down. And then I look at it again and I'm like, okay, this, no, that's good. This, okay, yeah, probably I need to do a little bit of mindful work here, and just try to reframe it and find solutions to it, or at least just reassure my brain, yeah, Brian, I hear you. This is maybe something that is stressing you, but actually, you know what? We have time. We can deal with it. We can figure it out, and just just do some good emotional mindfulness work as well to make sure that my brain is not randomly pushing me to do more, and get me out of my productive zone as well. So yeah, these were the few things I do that maybe you find helpful, or maybe you're already doing this thing as well. Because I think when you start paying attention to how you use your time, how your brain is working with you or against you, you will probably have done some of these things. But I would say I'm really proud about where I am in terms of my philosophy around time. I think it's way healthier than before, and I feel that when you can do things in a healthier way like this, it's more sustainable. It works better for for your body, for your brain, for your life. Like there's so many better things that can happen if you are not rushing and not overdoing things in the wrong direction, or not basically killing your brain cells as you go. So yeah, this is my philosophy for time now, and I will bring this with me towards the 40s. I think this is very helpful. And yeah, if you have any tips, if you have any best practices that you are doing right now that you think are super helpful and you would like to share with us, with the wider world of people who are trying to live their life in the real productivity mode, not the hustle, let us know in the comments. Just write it down, and we will implement them as well. And I see you tomorrow for another video.